Hey guys, welcome back to another Warframe video. I'm going to be showcasing a synergy I came up with, a synergy that you might not expect, and it's still a little wonky, but I think it does actually work. And it involves Frost, the Cycron, and the Orvius. The Cycron is optional, but I'm using it because it doesn't use any ammo. It has high status chance, and it can proc many elements because we're using the Orvius as the damage dealer, and it has condition overload on the build. So we want as many status procs on the target as possible, but not just as many status procs as possible, but in particular gas, because of that area of effect damage. Now we also have Spoiled Strike, Smite Grineer. You can use Whirlwind if you don't like the slow flight speed, but I actually don't mind it. It's not that bad, and the reduction to attack speed from this is kind of offset by the boost in gas damage we get. And then Smite Grineer is just to boost that gas damage as much as possible because it triple dips. As for the Cycron builds, probably just basic build that you might expect. You got your dual stats for your status, and then we got two 90% and the 165% heat just to pump up that damage. And then for the Frost build, which is kind of important to the synergy, it's something I just threw together. Physique is there because I have the arcane helmet that removes or increases armor, but it removes some of my health. So without it, I don't have as much health. It's like 400 something. Normally I'd use rejuvenation if I wasn't using the helmet. But between the strength and the high armor, I get a 14,000 health snow globe, which is pretty good. So you don't have to actually use his fourth ability, which is part of the synergy I'm talking about. Because as you can see, this reduces armor to all enemies in 21 meters by 82%. That only applies for 8 seconds or about 9 seconds, but it's enough for this synergy to work, and I'll explain that in a second. So we're going to want to pepper a few enemies. This is to get crowd control in there. Now we're going to use the Orvius. We're going to get this enemy. We're going to get some status effects on them, then press 4. Because we didn't get a gas proc, I don't think. No, I don't think we got a gas proc there. So let's try again, but with a gas proc. Sometimes it doesn't always happen. That's okay. We're just gonna pepper the enemies like there, get the enemy there, and then and then go quick. I think we missed the opportune moment, but see, what happened there was we got a gas proc, proc gas on all enemies, and then we pressed 4, which removes 80% of their armor. And it pauses all status effects. So that entire duration that they're frozen, if they're under that gas proc, they're going to keep getting ticked with that damage. Now, I've done a little bit of tests here and there. I've been doing this for a little while now, as you can see with all the energy orbs around. And I've gotten 10,000 gas procs sometimes. Let's see if I can do it here. You have to kind of be quick. Oh, right there. Come on. Okay, she's dead already. Nothing over there. Range is still low. But if you can get a good amount of enemies in a group, let's try this one here. Oops, where'd that go? Nowhere? Might have missed the, oh no, I'm aiming, that's right. Go like this, then press 4. Boom, that was great. That gas proc I think was a 10,000 like I was mentioning. So basically what you want to do, there'd be great synergy with either Vaubans or Nidus. If you can get a bunch of enemies in one area, you're going to want to do this with the Orvius to get them in the air, and then make sure gas is procced, and then press 4. Any enemy around is going to die. So let's see if I can actually bump up the level to 160, because I think I'm actually killing the enemies faster than I can showcase this, which is kind of a good thing. Let's try this again on this group here. This should be fine. I should be able to press this a little bit longer, and then press 4. Now we have 6,000, so these enemies might die from this. And they do. Those ones there. These ones were a little bit too far away, but you can just do it again. Sometimes it doesn't lift enemies, but that's okay. You just want that gas proc. That's the only thing that's really happening here. That was a 17,000 on that enemy. That was pretty good. And we got 1,000 here. And as you can see with the snow globe, I got 160 shooting at me right now. And it still goes down pretty quick, but hopefully if I stack 4, it should be okay. Snow globe's still kind of meh when it's up against this level. Yeah, that's reasonable. Considering the level that we're at, and we got 3 or 4 of them shooting, that's actually kind of acceptable. So I hope you found this synergy at least a little bit interesting. if nothing else, and maybe have some improvements on the build, maybe get more power strength somehow. Obviously, if you have an Umbral Forma, you'd be able to maybe stick in another one of the Umbral mods to boost the strength even more, maybe get 90% armor reduction. But I think this is fine, like you said, like I said earlier. If you can get enemies in a close group, this will probably one-shot up to level 160 Grineer, probably regardless of level, and if you have 4 corrosive projections, obviously, this will one-shot them even without this Frost synergy. So yeah, thanks for watching.